Cool. We are live. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to Sacred Voices Open Mic. We have open mics every fourth Friday of the month, and that might change. So stay tuned. Follow us on social media: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, maybe? I don't know if we have a Twitter. No, we don't have a Twitter. Don't follow us on Twitter. That might be an imposter. But Facebook and Instagram, follow us for new updates that may or may not be coming. My name is Bree. I will be your host for tonight. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. I am a local Denver poet. I be doing the things and things be doing me. And I'm tired. So this open mic is just going to be very fluid and great and amazing with my tired energy. Yes, this is all that is happening. We have a Venmo, and Aston gave me some tips before I said it. It is at Sacred Voices, and I said that correctly. If you want to support us and all the things that we do, support our young people so that we can have more open mics and workshops, please Venmo us at Sacred Voices. If you want to get involved with us on a more intimate level, you can join our Patreon. It is also at Sacred Voices. And those are ways that you can support us. You can come to a workshop that we might be doing sometime in the future. You can come to our open mics. There are bountiful ways of supporting Sacred Voices, and it's great. I I can get into a poem, or Aston can talk about our radio show. I'm not entirely sure which one that he would want to do. Okay, I'm going to share a poem. I'm tired. We are in a Pineapple Express, and I haven't written anything because we are in a Polar Express. This Panda Express, this panorama, I don't like it. So I'm going to be reading some amazing books from people who I've learned a lot from. I just need to find the right one. I wish I had some like cool like disco music. The magic that is Susie Q. And I get to remind you all to, purchase her book, support her work, do the things, and it'll be amazing. I'm going to read my favorite one, and it's called You Can't Take Us Nowhere. And once again, this is A Gospel of Bones by Susie Q. Smith. I can do that little like YouTube influencer with like the hand behind it. Um, and it's You Can't Take Us Anywhere. Sorry, anywhere. Me and B on the dance floor with various other shades of people, checkered flannel shirts, cursive tattoos, litting drunk belly out long leg leather vest headband lace dress. What season even is this head? Bob's eyes scan for heat. One spindly blonde hair swinging in her face emerges from the throng, throws herself onto the wall, spreads arms out long like wide pressing, grating her neck mostly, but get it how you live. We are mostly swaying to hip hop hits from early 2000s. They are mostly the wrong ones. We are hungry, almost begging for beats that demand our sweat, the dropping of hips. Not these damn near slow jams, easy enough for the girl on the wall, unaffected by rhythm or any other garden rarity, and bred it to interpret into some kind of movement. Meantime, me and B, so magically invisible, arms crossed, sullen salt in my stare. We don't check our coats to be insincere. I finally hear it's Bone and Biggie. The opening bars is Bone and Biggie to notorious thugs, and I yell, "That's my shit." Me and B throw our hands in the air, armed and dangerous. Ain't too many can bang with us and hold. We are alive. We are seen. We point at the DJ. I see you. I see you. He sees us back. Plays the JT Money classic, Who Dat? And the asses commence to bounce. Now I know I am loved. Give this glistening hype joy to the whole room. We shoulder roll, body rock, bouncing, live and electric. Even the air is ours until I spin and see a tall drink of who left the gate open wearing a trench coat. He is standing alone in the corner, juggling low in the dark, bowling pins in the next corner, a young lady hula hooping. DJ is still playing JT Money, and this might be the most Denver shit I've ever seen in my life. B leans in to the point at dude. B leans in to point at dude next to us. He looks like old boy from Don't Be a Menace. I am laughing so hard at the accuracy. I spin again so not as to hurt his feelings. Then approaching from the door is a broad grin, white kid, his hair dyed Kool-Aid red and woven into dreadlocks the size of baguettes. They almost swing as he walks towards me, flashing his platinum grill. I am howling. B is low twerking to keep from laughing too. I am howling at the wind and the drum that brought us here tonight. When we make our exit, we are approached by clenched jaw, big bodied, mostly shaved blonde head, my fist tight for whatever this is about to be. He says, I'm sorry to bother, but I just really love your energy. Sorry, I'm tripping real hard right now, but I just had to tell you that. He folds his fish chin into his pocket chest. He means it. On the ride home, I laugh and almost lament the precious disgust of the story my body holds tonight. Arms crossed, fist ball in fight, hands up, ass dropped, surrendered, impossible to sustain, impossible to defend. A home or a square inch of earth for a body or breath, but sometimes for the length of two songs, even the air is ours. So that was, ooh, it's a long one. That was You Can't Take Us Anywhere by the amazing, the magical Susie Q. Smith. You can buy her book, A Gospel of Bones. Please go check it out. And I will allow Aston to talk a little bit more about what we did with Susie Q. Smith.
All right. So, yeah, it's been a while since I've been on this side of the there we go. Now I'm on the screen. So, it's been a while since I've been on this side of the screen. Normally, I'm the one working behind the scenes, uh getting all of the participants set up and sending out links and everything. But I wanted to stop by and talk a little bit today just because Susie Q. Smith was our feature at last month's open mic. She's the lovely poet that Bree just read a passage from her book, O Gospel of Bones. And I'm going to be interviewing her on our radio show, which is Sacred Voices on KGNU. That airs on the second Friday of every month on KGNU. You can hear it at 1390 AM or 88.5 FM. We've been doing the show for a little while, but it strikes me that a lot of people don't actually know too much about it, and so I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about what we do there. Bree has actually been a guest at one point or another. Thank you for doing that, Bree. The month before that, last month on our show, we had Korea White, who has performed at a few of these open mics in the past. We had a lovely discussion about her poetry and the inspirations that uh, allowed that poem to be written, current events, political things, all sorts of stuff. If you like the poets that are uh, performing tonight or at any of our open mics, then I'm sure you'll love the conversations that we have on that radio program. It's real interesting and it's just a great time for everyone involved. So again, if you're interested in hearing that, it is on the second Friday of every month on KGNU. So that's 1390 AM, 88.5 FM. So the next one will be on June 11th. That'll be when my interview with Susie Q. Smith is, and that'll be at 3 p.m. on those stations. So be sure to tune in for that. Bree, do you have any questions for me or anything like that?
Oh, questions. No. I guess, yeah, I guess if some people want to talk about what they're doing in the community, how can they get, you know, if they wanted to be on Sacred Voices radio show, how can they get involved with us?
Um, well, usually what happens, like how we get this radio show going, I usually interview the featured performers from the previous show, but it's not always the case. You know, sometimes people are unavailable or don't want to for whatever reason. That's what ends up happening. So I'll interview people from the community, local artists who are doing something to help out their community or have some sort of project or something going on. So, you know, if you're interested, just message us, email us, something. I'm sure that if you try to get a hold of me, that you will certainly be able to, and we will go from there.
Lovely. I was really hoping you'd say message us and email us, send a carrier pigeon. But I guess we don't send those anymore.
I mean, you could try. I don't know how effective it would be, but it if you train it
I
well enough, it might get to me.
I've sent a carrier pigeon once, and it was phenomenal and fantastic. Did that carrier pigeon come back to me? Absolutely not. But the message got across, and that's all that matters.
Right. So I know that we're waiting right now for our first performer. It doesn't seem like they're here yet. So how about we give a little taste of what it's like on the radio show. So, Bree,
Sure. Yeah. Hi.
I know that we talked previously, and you said you haven't been working on much lately. But
I have not.
what was the last thing you did work on?
Like poetry wise, or just
Yeah.
um, I don't. I think the last thing I worked on was a poetry example for one of our poetry workshops. So me and another co-facilitator, we have a poetry prompt where it's like write about this, and then we have examples so that our students aren't, left to dry. Where it's like I don't know how to write a poem. Um, I forget the topic, but I'm sure that it was great, and I'm sure that I wrote a poem. But it's been a hot minute since I've written anything.
I understand the feeling. I'm a musician, and trying to write things during COVID, it usually goes one of two ways. You either get a huge outpouring of artistic inspiration or just nothing at all. It's
Yep.
feast or famine with that.
Yeah, that's what I've been like noticing during this Panasonic, where it's like I have this huge like urge to write everything, and then when I like actually look at all the things that I wrote about, it's like depression and the black bodies are being killed and there's a war and why did we elect this white man into the office again, and just like all the negative things, and I'm like, where is the joy? Where is like a poem about a cat that I saw on the street? Um
It can
so I
certainly be
think my
hard to find things like that nowadays.
Yeah, I think joy happens all around us. I think it's just like we live in this era where like the negative is so like pinpointed by social media that we're just like, oh, well, dang.
Well, it's the optimist in me that's hoping that with vaccinations up and people able to go out and do things again, that we're entering into a period of joy. Hopefully, with all these things happening. But who knows? We will see what happens.
I think we are. I think in Colorado, like a lot of people have been a little bit happier. I went to a restaurant the other day and like everyone was just like smiling and happy, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have to wear my mask." And I was like, "You should still wear it." But if you're that's the one thing I don't like about our government is that we believe in Americans to uphold the honor code.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No."
Yeah, the whole individual freedoms thing has gone a bit far. It's gone to a lot of people's heads, I think. Um,
Yeah.
Masks are still a good idea in a lot of situations. Like I'm going to be taking a trip next month, and I don't know what the airline's policies are going to be at that point, but I am still definitely wearing a mask from the moment I step foot into DIA to the moment I step out of the Detroit airport. So
Yeah, you
that's
still need
my
a mask to be in the airport and on the planes.
yeah.
um, for the people who are watching, take care of yourself and you and yours, wear a mask. If you get vaccinated and your second shot, you need to wait 2 weeks after your second shot to interact with other vaccinated folks. You can't just get your shot and then go to a party and then be upset that you got sick. You have to wait 2 weeks.
Yep.
2 weeks.
It can be a difficult 2 weeks. I know there's a lot of things that are just starting to happen nowadays, but that's the way that things are, unfortunately. So that's the
Yeah.
way that how is it, an mRNA vaccine will work.
Mhm.
So yeah. Well, I'm still waiting for word from this first performer, so I guess I'll keep talking to you. We'll turn this open mic into something of an interview. We can keep the
I like
community
it.
focus going. You know, I don't know. If you're not tuning in for the community aspect of what we're doing right now, then you know that's I've got bad news for you. We're a community organization.
All about community. I don't
Yeah.
know what you came here to sign up for.
So,
Uh,
one of the things that you do for us is you facilitate workshops.
I do.
You just had your last workshop with a group of students last week. You've been with them every week for a while. How did that go?
It went amazing. We had our last workshop in our prompt was throughout the negative things in your life that you've struggled with, that you've gone through, what are some things that you came out with? Like, what are the tools that you got? What are some positive impacts on your life that you learned with? And they wrote some great things where they're like, I went through this and that, like online school sucked, but I can micromanage now. I can organize my Google Sheets to make sure that I'm getting my stuff done. Like I have a calendar set, and our young people really amaze me every time. Our young person in our workshop, she published her poems in a book. She went to Amazon. She has some paperback books. If anyone is interested in buying some books to support our young people, please reach out to us. I would love to send you the link. But it's like all of the poems that she's written with us and a couple of more. She put them all into a book and she published it.
Yeah, I mean that's amazing. That's what you want to see with you know, uh, students who come through our programs. They gain the skills that they need to do this on their own, and that's really just something you love to see. Um, but yeah, how has it been being with these students for so long, and now all of a sudden they're not going to be in your life anymore? How is that?
It's just breaking my heart, Aston. I mean, I've done workshops before. I've done a lot of youth workshops before where, like, young people come in and then you never see them again. Of course, you're going to think about them, but I really, in my mind, I think about what are they going to become like in the next couple of years when I'm a little bit older? Like, am I going to see their name in Barnes and Nobles, or are they going to be performing at a concert, or are they going to be like a CEO or something? I'm every time I leave a workshop and it's like the end of the workshop, I'm always very hopeful of what comes out of it in the future. Where I'm like, all of these young people are great and amazing. What are they going to do next? I feel like my young participants' biggest fan, where I'm like, hey, like, keep in contact with me. Here's my Instagram handle. Like, I would love to support you in any ways that I can. Invite me to whatever you're doing. I can be a little bit annoying at times where I'm like, hey, what's going on? What are you doing? Hi, what's up? What's happening? And some people are like, Bree, stop it. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'll be here. I'll be here supporting you right here. But let me know if you have an event.
Yeah, it's been great to see people who you mentor or people who go through your program. They can really like go forth and do great things because everybody starts somewhere. Like that's just how it is, and why don't they start at Sacred Voices? Some do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I started at a random open mic up in Boulder, and
yeah.
now here I am.
It's crazy how that happens. Um, so yeah, why don't you talk about? I don't think I've heard the story of this first open mic you did. Where
Uh,
was it and how did it go?
in Boulder,
Yeah.
so Boulder has a lot of events because Boulder is a college town. Don't let anyone confuse you. It's a college town. Um, but Boulder they had an open mic at the CS. No, not CSC. I forget. Boulder loves their acronyms. I don't know. Center for Student Involvement, whatever, whatever. And they had some open mics, and I was like, oh, I write a little bit of poetry. Maybe I'll go. But I'm like, I need friends. I can't go alone. Like so I grabbed my roommate, I grabbed my other friend, I grabbed like a couple more people, and I was like, we're gonna go, and it's gonna be great. And so I went, and it was actually one of the worst open mics I've ever gone to. I went and I shared my poem, and of course, Boulder is predominantly white, and my poem was predominantly about my Black queer trans experience, and like no one really got it besides like my roommate and my friends, and they're like, "Ooh, yeah, go Bree." And like as soon as I was done, everyone was like, "I'm confused. Like, are you just like angry? Like, what's happening? Like, what, like, are you blaming us for being in like a predominantly white town? Like, it's not our fault. And I was like, oh, I'm never coming back here ever again. Huh.
Yeah. That doesn't sound great, but yeah, you live and learn.
Yeah. And then
That's
I made my own open mics, and I was like, I'm just gonna have my own open mics and just have
yeah.
people come and share and feel nice with sharing.
A lot of the best open mic experiences come from when you find the right community, who are the type of people who really vibe with the kind of art that you do and the kind of people that or the kind of person that you are. Um, so yeah, that's pretty cool. I hadn't heard that story before. I
Yeah.
certainly like the reason why I went to CU Denver was because I've been to Boulder a handful of times. Not my favorite place in the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You go to CU Boulder, right?
I graduated from CU Boulder. I graduated. Wow, has it been 2 years? I graduated 2 years ago. Yeah, because
Okay.
today is my work anniversary, my 2 year work anniversary.
Okay.
Yeah. So I graduated in 2019 and I went to CU Boulder.
I always forget if you were still there or if you're graduated.
God,
It's Mateo who's still there.
Mateo is still there. Yeah. I might be. Boulder is like doing these fun things now where they're like making this like new center for African and African American studies. And I'm like, if you start a PhD program, I will be there. That sounds great. Um,
Yeah,
so I might be going back.
I saw that Korea was saying about the that center, right?
Yeah, so Korea White and Ruth, one of our like returning participants who shares amazing magic, and another young Black woman spearheaded this initiative to have a Center for African and African American Studies. They put in a lot of work. They fought against an institution which is CU Boulder, and their work has been, rewarded with this center. So shout out to young Black women doing the work. Shout out to Korea and Ruth and the other Black woman who the name is forgetting me right now, but they did great work and it's happening and it happened, and shout out to them. So if you're watching it, I love y'all. Y'all did great.
Yeah, it's great work that's happening over there. And as much as we can rag on Boulder, there's still a lot of good stuff that happens up there. Like this. This is something great that's happening.
Yeah.
How was your experience being a student in Boulder for? I'm assuming it was 4 years.
Hmm. Yes, I was a student at CU Boulder for 4 years. Um, I didn't like it, but I also like I don't like it just because of Boulder's like the bias and the stereotypes and like the violence that I had to go through. But like Boulder is very, very white. There's a couple of Black students on campus. There are only a few Black faculty on campus, and if you get that faculty, you like stick with them forever. But I wouldn't have like the privileges and like the knowledge that I would have if I didn't go to Boulder. So like I have that privilege of going to a very predominant institution, but also like I hated it. I was a student activist on campus. If you ask our is he a former now? I think he might be former president. I think he left the organization. If you ask Mark Kennedy, our chancellor, Phil DeStefano, they know me by name. I disrupted a lot of things. I was like, y'all have these things that aren't supporting students, that aren't supporting students of color, that aren't supporting students with, you know, disabilities or sexualities or gender or whatever. And I'm just gonna let you know. So everyone knew me. I always tried to know people on campus. I was a resident advisor on campus, so I took care of the babies. I hated it. Don't ever be a resident advisor unless you really need housing and board. Um, uh, it's the worst job that I've ever had in my life because I had to take care of other human beings while I was also like going to school. But I had a lot of queer bees. I call them queer bees, queer babies, my babies, on my floor, and I like looked out for them when they had like student welcome days. I'd like spot out the queer bees and like the people of color, and I'd be like, hey, come talk to me, come talk to me. I'll tell you the real things. They gonna tell you lies. Come here, come here, come. It just I will take you on a tour. You come here. And yeah, I mean, I liked being on campus because all of my friends were there and all of my mentors were there. Um, I hated Boulder as an institution. I guess let me say that I don't hate Boulder. I hate Boulder as an institution. Boulder's very pretty. I like Boulder. I sometimes go hiking in Boulder. If you see me hiking in Boulder, just mind your business. Don't tell everyone. Please don't.
You were a lot braver than I was when I was in school because I went to CU Denver, which doesn't have the same problems to the same extent. Well, it has the same problems, but to a lesser extent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I was not one to make a ruckus. I would like to think that now, being almost 30, that I would, but back then, being 21, I was not willing to do those things. So thank you for doing that for the rest of us who weren't courageous enough to stand up to those things.
I wanted other people's experiences to be better than my own. Like freshman year really like rocked me where I was like, "Oh, I'm in this institution that doesn't care about me," or like, "Oh, I'm in this housing, I'm in this dorm that doesn't care about me." Like I never met my resident advisor freshman year until like the last day when I was at the gym and he was like, "Hey, I'm your RA." And I was like, "Who? I don't
That
have an
point,
RA."
yeah, at that point, it's better not to say anything.
Yeah, so I wanted to make incoming, students' lives a little bit better on campus, just like a little bit better because you can do so much and it's still not enough.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you're listening to this right now, I know that it seems like you might be looking at the title like this isn't an open mic. What's there? Who's performing? This started out as a little teaser of what our radio show is like, and now it's just turned into our radio show. But if you're watching and you want to perform something, now would be a great time. Leave a comment. I'm looking at the comment section right now, or send us a message. We'll put you on the screen, and you know we can hear what you have to say. But I've asked you a lot of questions, Bria. I don't want you to wear out your voice from all this talking. Do you have any questions for me or anything?
Um, Aston, how can I buy your music?
How can you buy my music?
Yeah, I don't know if
um,
anyone knows, but Aston is a phenomenal guitar player and he makes music and it's great and I love it and I want to buy your music.
um, let's see. As far as buying it goes, I think the only actual way is with Bandcamp.
Okay.
So yeah, if you go to astonmusic.bandcamp.com, so that's ASTIN music.bandcamp.com, you can pay what you want for any of the tracks that I've released. I released an EP and 3 singles in the past few years. So if you are interested in supporting me in that way, that would be great. But if you can also find me uh, on all streaming services, I don't think there's one that I'm not on currently. So if you use like Amazon Music or whatever, something that nobody
Spotify.
uses, then you can even find me on there. Um, yeah, if you go to my Instagram, which is just at Aston Lopez, then you'll there's a link tree there, and you can find where to listen to my music there. But yeah,
Nice.
it's been a while since I've performed. I haven't done one of these virtual ones, which maybe I should have, but I'm out of practice.
I get it. I love your music actually. Like I try to listen to your songs at least like a couple times a month on Spotify.
Oh.
Because Spotify is just like, hey, remember when you liked Aston? You should listen to his music. Spotify is real aggressive. They're like, hey, hey, Aston's music, you listen to it right now. And I'm like, damn, fine.
It's good to hear that Spotify is being aggressive for me because I certainly am not. I put gentle reminders out there every now and then, like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still making music, in case you're interested.
How did you get into music?
Um, well, let's see. I started playing guitar when I was 13 years old,
Hmm.
and at that point, the I started just because the music I was listening to, it wasn't super great or anything. But eventually, the more I got into it, the more I was listening to like some other more guitar-oriented music. I was listening to some individuals like Joe Satriani or Steve Vai or Buckethead, Like those three, I listened to them a lot. And then I just, I stayed in my room in middle school and high school and just played guitar a lot. And I had a really awful acoustic guitar that I just practiced on for years and years until by the time I was 18 and I got out of high school, I was like, I don't really have any other thing that I'd rather do.
Mm,
So, and that's where I'm at now, pretty much.
nice. I recently inherited my uncle's guitar when he passed away, and I was like, I should pay ask to pay to not to teach me how to play guitar. And then I realized that my hands don't coordinate. Like I can't go faster with one hand and like slow with the other, so it just doesn't work.
Oh, it could totally work. You just gotta give it an honest shot. Although you can't play with those nails though. That would be impossible.
Yeah, I like my acrylics. I also can't play piano with these nails either.
Yeah.
Um, I bought a piano the beginning of this pineapple, and I haven't touched her since. And I'm looking at her right now.
Yeah.
Hi.
It can be kind of difficult to get into a new art form. I have a bit of experience on this because what I do outside of Sacred Voices is primarily teach guitar. So there's a lot of people, especially during this COVID pandemic, who are trying to pick up new skills and stuff. And it's if it doesn't hook you, then it's hard to really get into something like this. Whether that be, uh, getting into an instrument or starting to write poetry or anything like that, it can be hard to get into something like that. So, you know, it you just got to keep trying. Sometimes it works and sometimes it just doesn't. So, give it another shot.
I will try. I keep like if you walk into my house, you would think that I'm like a master painter and like a musician on the side because I have like canvases over there and my instruments over there with the speaker. I don't know. Every time I walk past them, they like yell at me and they're like, "Hi, hi, hi, touch me, play with me."
Yeah.
I guess I should. My guitar is yelling at me. I'm gonna grab it.
Okay. Yeah, I've never actually seen your guitar, so I'm not sure what kind it is or anything.
I would love to show you. It's
Oh, okay.
huge. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I wanted it because my uncle passed away, and I was like, mine, mine. This is my inheritance, mine.
And just an update on our performers. The first performer has not messaged me back, and the second performer has not messaged me back.
That's rude.
It is it is a bit rude, but we will press forward. Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
It's a hollow bodied big boy guitar of some sort.
And you can connect it to an amp, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's got two pickups on it
Oh,
and all sorts of knobs and stuff, so
yeah.
I could plug it in
I
somewhere on there.
My uncle had more instruments. He was the musician of the family.
Ah,
He like played bass and guitar and ukuleles. I had three uncles. Three uncles? Three uncles. And my uncle Lucky was the musician. So this is his
hmm.
guitar. But when my uncle Mark passed away, he had this, and I was like, why did you have it? Um, but I wish I had his bass. I think I can learn bass better than I can learn guitar. Um,
It's a bit simpler. There's only four strings as opposed to six, but
yeah. I mean, I grew up playing violin and viola and cello.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
So
that.
yeah, I have two violins in my closet.
Oh.
Like I said, if you walk into my house, you think that I'm a musician. I'm a one man band,
Right.
and I'm not.
Yeah, I've pretty much just done guitar. I have a couple ukuleles that I can play a little bit. I don't have a bass or any bowed string instruments like violins or violas or anything, but
Mhm.
um, it's all the same basic principles. Stretched string can it can vibrate, which vibrates the air and makes sound.
Yeah, I wanna get back into playing violin since I have two in my closet. Um, I want to play ukulele because Steven Universe.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah. Makes sense.
But it's just hard in this. I don't know. I'm like, if this pandemic ends, am I still going to like be like this? Like pick up things and then like forget them, or will I be like, I can do this now?
Well, once the world gets to a more stable place, I think it'll be a bit easier to pick up new things. But I could be wrong with that. We'll see.
Who knows? This world is just.
Yeah, well, that's how it is. But that's I don't know. Well, I guess we're going to be keeping going until 7:15. I know that Tabitha, one of our other board of directors members, is supposed to be performing at 7:15. So this is not how I imagined this show would go, but here we are. I'm not complaining.
I'm not complaining either.
Yeah. Um, but yeah. So how have these virtual shows gone overall? You think, or just
Um,
virtual life in general? Honestly.
I mean, I quite enjoy this virtual world. I think, and it makes me angry where it's like America was like, oh, we can't work from home, you need to go into the office, or oh, you can't do things from home. But then like when we had this pandemic, everyone's like, ah, stay at home, and it's much easier to like wake up and check your emails, make some breakfast, hop on a call, take a nap, walk your dog. So I really like virtual worlds. I think the one thing that I really miss is like that human connection.
Yeah.
I miss like seeing people in the crowd and making eye contact with them and like having that like actual human speech between each other instead of over the computer. um, I miss that, but I really think the virtual world isn't going away. I think a lot of people like it, and I think it's more accessible than being in person. I think we should still have, even for our open mics, like in person, but also maybe virtually. So like people who don't want to leave their house or people who can't leave their house can still participate, because I think that might have been a barrier that we as a society might have overlooked. We're like, oh crap, people can't leave their houses or people don't want to leave their houses.
Yeah. I know that for some of these open mics, we've had people who have come in from, you know, all different states all across the country, who never would have been able to engage with our programming otherwise. So
Yeah.
there have been some definite benefits to working this way. And yeah, I think to a certain degree, it won't change to the way it was before, but you know, we might retain some things from the way things are now.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna go back to quote unquote normal. Um,
Yeah.
I don't think normal has ever existed.
Yeah, normal wasn't really working, as it
Was
turns
it?
out.
Was not at all. I'm going to open my door because it is hot. I don't. I realize that it's summer and my place doesn't have AC because I live in an old house.
Okay. Yeah,
First,
so if you're just joining us now, we are having a little interview to fill up time in between performance slots. Our next performer should be coming on here pretty soon. Um, but in the meantime, Bree and I will keep talking. And if you have any questions about the organization or anything that you would like to see talked about, just leave it in the comments and we will get to it.
fun. Selfish plug: if people are watching this and they have no idea what to do for Pride and they work for an organization, you should hire me. I do DEI workshops, LGBTQI workshops, poetry workshops. I am a poet, so I will do some poetry for you if you give me enough time to write a poem. I can be a speaker. I've spoken at many of things. I can be a keynote. I've keynote at many of things. And it's Pride Month, so I would love to be supported as a Black queer trans person.
Yeah, you should all support Bree in whatever it is that they're doing. Sorry, somebody responded, so I'm responding to them with the Zoom link.
Cool. If people want to
Oops.
get in contact with me, you can go to my website. It is www.artsyq.com, and I'll be there waiting for your request.
Sorry, I'm now all of a sudden people are messaging me about coming on the show. So
Of course
why don't
they
you tell
are.
me what's going on in your world right now?
Like I said before, I am trying to get booked in busy for the month of June. June is Pride Month, and I'm very prideful to be a out queer and trans individual. I am a consultant. I am a contractor. I do DEI workshops and trainings, LGBTQI
Oops.
workshops and trainings. I also have an amazing and wonderful partner. Her name is Shanae Adams. She runs Honestly Nay LLC. She is a sexuality educator and a mental health clinician. We will probably be doing some things. She also does DEI workshops and workshops around queer and trans issues. She's great. We'll probably do a podcast together if I can figure out how to do a podcast. Um,
Oh, if you need help doing a podcast, I can help you do a podcast.
well, there we go. The trio, me, Aston, and Shanae. um, and yeah, that's what I am doing. Give us monies. That's really what I'm doing. I work for Project Voice. If anyone was interested in what I do for my day job, Project Voice is a local nonprofit here in Denver. We train, employ, and organize young people to harness their power as a young person and their voice to create equitable youth adult partnerships and to just be dope. We have a annual fundraiser coming up, and I say coming up like it's not in August. It's called Venture with Voice, and if you want to help support young people and Project Voice, you can RSVP and put that in your calendar. Um, and yeah, Project Voice is a dope organization. We support young people. We support people with care packages due to this COVID-19 pandemic. Um, Youth on Record, I'm also a part of. They have some really cool stuff coming up. I'm not entirely sure if I'm allowed to say yet. I'm not allowed to say. I just remembered that. But Youth on Record is dope. Um, they're cool. What else? I have a mentor. His name is Molina Speaks. If you have not heard, if you've not paid attention to the news, Molina Speaks has a lounge with Meow Wolf. He has
Oh wow.
partnered with them, and he has a indigenous futuristic lounge. So when Meow Wolf opens up, please go and support Molina and his art and Meow Wolf as well.
That's very cool. So it looks like we're waiting on a couple people. I'm playing a link tag with Tabitha to try to get the invite situation working, and we have Jessica who messaged us, who will
Yes.
hopefully be joining us pretty soon. Um, but yeah, so things are going pretty. Looks like I'm getting another text.
Oh, I have one more thing to share.
Okay.
Is it CYC? I think it's CYC. Where is nope. AYC something. What is it called? Creative Strategies for Change. They have a dope thing coming up. If you are a young person, what is it? What is it? What is it? It is the ACT-CLC Community Leadership Cohort Arts for Change and Transformation. It is a leadership cohort youth. It's a cohort that youth can be a part of to learn leadership development tools with art. Um, you can help respond to social justice, mental health crisis while being faced in the US. Please support Creative Strategies for Change. They are also a dope partner of Sacred Voices and myself. They are really cool. They have community ciphers on Thursdays. So if you are always trying to find a space to share your poems, you can hit up Sacred Voices. You can hit up Creative Strategies for Change. Um, what else? Slam Nuba is dope. I'm just doing all the people who are doing open mics.
Yeah.
Slam Nuba is a dope organization that has a open mic right now, but please don't leave us. Don't leave us. Do not leave us.
Right.
We'll be changing our dates to accommodate both our schedules, but they're dope. You could share your poems with them too. Shout out to Eric and Hakeem Furious. And we have people here, so I will
We do
stop
have
talking.
people here. Well, you are still the host, unless you would
Okay,
prefer,
right,
unless you'd
right,
prefer if
right,
I do
right.
it. Here we go. I'm gonna remove the pins. Spotlight for everyone. Yes. Remove spotlight. Just. Yep.
Ooh,
There we go. Back to normal. Take it away,
cool.
Bree.
Yeah. If people just now, came through and said hi, we are Sacred Voices. We have open mics every fourth Friday of the month, and today is the fourth Friday. If you want to donate to us, you can donate at Sacred Voices on Venmo. If you want to be more intimate and close with us, you can subscribe to our Patreon and be a patron. You can find us at Sacred Voices. Like Aston said earlier, there is an interview on the radio show with Susie Q. Smith. It is on 1390 AM and 88.5 FM if you want to tune into that. And
Remove spotlight. Just.
Aston, will it
Yep.
be
There we go.
Tabitha
Back to
or
normal. Take it.
Venetia who
With
goes
Susie Q.
first?
Smith.
It is on
Don't know.
1390 AM because they're both here. Wonderful. Wonderful. Tabitha, are you ready?
I'm actually not doing it. My sister is, and she's supposed to be logging on.
Oh, good. Cool. I think she just logged on.
Okay.
Look at your words being powerful, summoning people. Cool. Is it? Will you? I don't know how to pronounce this name. Hi. Will you help me in pronouncing your name so that I don't butcher it and look terrible? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sister Araya.
Sister Aria.
Sorry, my name is Araya.
Araya.
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. All right. Are you ready to share with us?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Cool. All right. You are going to be coming up. Amazing. Thank you for being here. I love what you have on. It's very pretty. I'm like trying to see like if it's flowers or.
Yes, ma'am. I love flowers and colors.
I love that. Cool. Well, instead of me looking at your fashion, I'd love to hear your words.
Okay, perfect. This is a really old poem that I wrote when I was kind of in the process of going through a divorce. And it's a little bit long, so I'll try not to. Okay. All right. It goes, empty dreams fill up my pockets. Salty tears fill my eye sockets. Pain so deep can hardly block it. Wishing I could take off in my rocket. Can you feel my pain? Being in love with the man who just won't change is so devastating. My soul weeps for his, but only God can change him. Why does love give us a passion that runs so deep, only to turn around and make us all feel so weak? Unbearable chain. Emotions bodied, relationship put to death. Now I understand why Jesus wept. The pain of losing everything we built was real. Sadness wet up my shirt is hard to deal. The truth hit hard. It left my feelings in a ditch. Draw off the chalk lines, lies and torn molds sent my heart straight to flat line. Cause in my mind, I thought we'd always be together. We built that kind of love that will hold through any weather. You told me we would make it, but you didn't mean it. As soon as shit hit the fan, you dipped without thinking. Gone in 60 seconds is an exaggeration. Said marriage meant forever to you, but I guess you faked it. Broken promises and memories, call it deception. Felt I had finally found the one, but you wasn't my blessing. Pride gone because I took so much from you. I loved you with all of me, and that's the real truth. I would have given you my left leg, but you took my right. Emptied the bullets from my chest because love has died tonight. Yelling R.I.P., staring at the pavement, trying to revive our hopes and dreams, but they did not make it. As the dust settles and my hurt is laid to rest, I reflect on this experience with the time that's left. Next time, I'll try a little harder and even love a little smarter. More importantly, I'll give it to the Heavenly Father. Without Jesus as the core, relationships won't strive. Pay my respect with deep condolences. It's time to ride. Taking one last glimpse of the crime scene, grabbing the shells that hit the ground and sad and shot at me. Reload my clip with hope and truth as I bust back. However, and true love always wins as I cock my strap. Remember, love's a battlefield that's showing for the weak. And only time can mend our wounds. So get down on your knees. Let the God in heaven heal you as he surely will. Because you can do all things through Christ, and that's the real deal.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. That was dope. I loved the tone and the rhythm of your poem. I love that it flowed and like it perked up and then it went down and you had like the soul going on. Um I also loved your power and emotion. I think I could like really like feel like what you went through, like what you going through, like why you calling this person out and like why are you like better now and like how are you going to move forward. So I loved that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to share also.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to share with us? It's cool if it's just the one.
Oh, I didn't know that I could share more than one. Dang, I can't think of any that come to mind right now. I have a lot of other stuff, but I haven't really written in a really long time. I started one, but it's not finished. So yeah, yeah. Do you guys like share like singing on here and things like that as well?
Yeah. It's an open mic, so anything you bring to the table.
Oh, that's dope. How often do you do these?
So we have open mics every fourth Friday of the month. It may change, but we will let everyone know if it does. And yeah, it basically is every fourth Friday of the month.
Okay. Okay, awesome. I have a song. I'm like, yeah, I'm practicing getting over stage fright. So I'm like, well, the
There you
moment.
go.
Okay. Okay. This song is called My Way. I'm just gonna sing it a cappella. I'm gonna sit up just a little bit. Okay. Okay. It goes, he left scars on her back and tears in her eyes. What kind of man can get up and just walk out his own child's life? Only a coward would have stayed away for so long. At times I wonder how my mother's love stayed so strong. I wish I could have eased her pain and wiped the tears from her eyes. 'Cause every night she cried, wondering why my dad lied. The morning that he left, it took a piece out of my life. But the most High woke me up, so I'm standing right here with pride. So finally found my way, now I am strong, I'm strong. Took me some time to find me, now I'm home, I'm home. Went through some things to get here, now I'm ready to walk by faith. Knowing your word will carry me through the harder day. Self-examination was a must for me. I had to realize to grow, I had to heal from something. Struggling with low self-esteem my whole life. Settling for much less than I deserved was the story of my demise. 16 years without a father was tough love. Now I find it hard for me to trust. Wish you would have taught me how a man is supposed to love. How can you call yourself a man, leaving behind your own team? If only you knew the things life's put me through. So finally found my way, now I am strong, I'm strong. Took me some time to find me, now I'm home, I'm home. Went through some things to get here, now I'm ready to walk by faith. Knowing your word will carry me through the harder day. Now I know what love feels like. and I owe it to him to get it right. Praying for a righteous man who will look at me and say that favor is deceitful, beauty is pain, but if you fear the Lord, you shall be praised. Finally found my way now, I am strong, I'm strong. Took me some time to find me now, I'm home, I'm home. Went through some things to get here now, I'm ready to walk by faith. Knowing your word will carry me through the hard day. Let this music play the message in my heart sings. It's time to spread my wings so I can be free. Let this music play the message in my heart sings. It's time to spread my wings so I can be free.
What? That was not your first time performing ever. No, that was amazing. What? Now you have to come back. You have to come back for open mics. You can't leave us.
Okay, thank you so much. I would absolutely love to. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. That was dope. I wish I could sing. I can't sing.
Oh, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Thank you for your compliments too.
Yeah. Cool. That was great. I love that. I love singing. I love listening to people who can actually sing instead of me in my car. It's great. Cool. I had to look at my notes. It's been a long day, y'all. Please be patient with my brain. I think we have Venetia Evans up next. Are you ready?
Now I am. Can you hear me?
We can, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, hi, I'm Venetia Evans. I'm a local musician here in Denver, and I'm going to play a couple of songs for you. I actually have a show on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can find me at Venetia Evans, and where I share some music that I'm working on. We do some meditations and some mantras. So this music that I'm going to share with you tonight is a little bit of that. It's based off. I'm going to perform two songs that are based off a mantra that goes. I'll just say it. It goes like this. I'm sorry. It's a forgiveness mantra, and it goes like this. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you, and I love you. And whenever we do any kind of forgiveness for someone, just to let things go, we try to fill it up with gratitude at the end. And so I'm going to play two songs of gratitude. One is called Thank You, and it's a cover by Ito and Joe. And the second one is called I Love You, and that is a cover by Billie Eilish. Thank you for the love you've given me. I know you want the best for me, and I care. Holding to the precious moments now. How I wonder if you feel my world turn around. Thank you. Thank you for this love. 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 Change is here and I know it's most undefined. Even in winter, the sun shines from behind. But I choose to make it a welcome ground. The earth may shake and the seas may be screaming for the love, the taste of a new beginning. I choose to flow in the sweetness of this birth. Surrender, surrender to this love. Surrender, surrender to this love. Remember, remember all this love. Remember, remember all this love. And now I see that you remember me. Now I see that you remember me. Remember, remember all this love. Remember, remember all this love. Remember, surrender all this love. Surrender, surrender all this love. Loka somosta suki no bhavantu. Loka somosta suki no bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May all beings be happy and free. Loka somosta suki no bhavantu. Loka somosta suki no bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May all beings be happy and free. May all beings be happy and free. May all beings be happy and free.
Ooh, that was amazing. There was a bit of a sound issue. It sounded, I guess, bumpy. I don't know how to describe the sound.
Yeah, and I'm hearing a little crackling too, so I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe because it's with Zoom. This is the first time with my setup on Zoom, so I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix it right now.
I mean, we still heard your song. I still quite enjoyed it. So, yeah, I think it was fine.
Awesome. All right, the next one is called I Love You. been the type to let someone see right through. Ooh, baby, won't you take it back? Say you were trying to make me laugh, and nothing has to change today. You didn't mean to say I love you. I love you, and I don't want to. Up all night on another red eye. Wish we never learned to fly. High. Maybe we could just try to tell ourselves a good lie. I didn't mean to make you cry. Ooh, baby, won't you take it back? Say you were trying to make me laugh, and nothing has to change today. You didn't mean to say I love you. I love you, and I don't want to. The smile that you gave to me, even when you felt like dying. We fall apart as it gets dark. I'm in your arms in Central Park. There's nothing you can do or say. I can't escape the way I love you. I love you, and I don't want to.
Woo! That's amazing. I love your singing. I wish I can sing. Ah!
That means so much. Thank you so much. And I'm actually feeling really under the weather, so I'm glad to still be able to do it.
That's amazing. How can I know you mentioned before you started performing, but how can people get in contact with you and see you sing again?
Yes, please. So you can find me on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube at Venetia Evans. I have a show every Tuesday at 11 a.m. And it goes for about 20 or 30 minutes, and it's just a good morning music activity where we do some meditation, some mantras, and I play some music that's related to that. I know for myself, I'm a mom of 2 young toddler boys. Sometimes just taking a few minutes just to recenter yourself, you need an excuse to do that or somebody to do that with. And so this is just an opportunity for us to get together and recenter with some short and sweet techniques to help get your morning going and so that you can have a beautiful week ahead.
Lovely. I love that. I definitely will be looking you up on Twitch because the only person I follow is T-Pain and I need more people.
That's great. I just started using the platform. I have no idea how it works, but hey, just using it.
T-Pain just plays video games and sometimes raps.
Oh, fun.
So, yeah, thank
Well,
you
thank
so
you
much
so much for having me. Yeah, Venetia Evans at YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Wonderful. Thank you. Cool. If you're just now getting here, you missed wonderful singing by 2 of our performers, so you have to go back and watch it because it was amazing. We're Sacred Voices. We have open mics every 4th Friday of the month. Today is the 4th Friday, and it's almost June, which time is an illusion, and I can't believe it's almost June. If you want to donate to us, we have a Venmo. It is at Sacred Voices. If you want to be more intimate with us, you can be a patron on our Patreon at Sacred Voices. And yeah, Jessica, are you ready to perform with us? Cool. Alrighty.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I was just gonna tune in. I had heard about you folks and heard good things about what Sacred Voices does and puts on good events, and I was just gonna tune in and see what was up. But I appreciated that you had a slot open for me to jump in here and be a part of it.
Yeah, I'm glad that you came.
Thank you. So I'm gonna read from, I self-published my first book last June, so coming up on my 1-year anniversary. My middle name is Rose, so that's where the title comes from, Rose Hips. If you don't know, rose hips are what happens after the rose blooms. They become like a berry. So there's, some metaphor there of having to like kind of bloom and then wilt, and then the fruit can come from that. So very personal collection I created here for my first publishing. So I'm going to read the poem Birth Certificate. When I'm not sure who I am anymore, I call my mom and she tells me, even if I don't ask. She tells me how she thinks everyone is who they're gonna be the moment they're born. Then she tells me the story of how my brother came, suddenly, a month early, and so quick she was shaking from the shock. And after, all he did was cry. And I think about how my brother has always been more work, needed more effort, right from the start. But my sister, she came a year before him, on time, as expected. My mom stopped for a brownie on the way. And after, my sister, she was just perfect. Her whole life, never not perfect. And my mom thought I could have 1,000 more. But then my brother came. So a third, me, I was not expected. I came 10 years later, sent my mom to the hospital, false alarm. Then her water broke at home 2 days later and she rushed back. No time for a brownie. And I wouldn't come easy. I had to be suctioned from my comfort zone. And after, I was happy, so long as my brother, sister, mother, father gave me what I wanted, like now and not later. So what does that say about me? What have I always been? Stubborn, spoiled, so sure of what I wanted then when I am completely unsure now? Maybe it was simpler then. Maybe I've changed. Or maybe experiences count for more than my mother thinks. Then my mother says that I saved her. She said it before and she never says how, never says exactly what she means, just how happy I've made her. I've never been some whiny brat to her. Maybe to her, I'm honest. I'm headstrong. I confidently take up space. I've got leadership skills. I'm sure of what I want, but I struggle now because I have to wait and work for it. I struggle because I'm trying to make myself small, but I want to be big. I'm trying to make myself quiet, but I have so much to say. I don't know who I am anymore, but I just need to remember to call my mom. because she'll tell me, and I don't even have to ask. She'll tell me who I've always been, that it's okay to be who I've always been. Thank you. It always gets me choked up in the mom feels.
Oh, was that it? I was looking for so much more.
Yeah, I can take a breath. This is a very sentimental, like I said, very personal. I went nostalgia bomb of just like, I'm gonna put myself into a book form because that's what my grandma said. My grandma said, "Are you ever gonna publish a book?" And I said, "I'll put my life story in a book, Grandma." So yeah, I can read one more. And
if you want, I loved your writing, and I was like, wait, I'm on the edge of my seat. Is there more?
I appreciate it. So I've still got one grandma, Earthside, pushing me to keep publishing books. But a couple years ago lost my other grandma, and her house is where I went every summer, and very much feels like home. So this one's called Grandma's House, story of that emotional roller coaster. Grandma's house. My great-grandfather bought a plot of land, $100 for a lot on Anchor Bay, where he could pull his boat onto the shoreline, eventually build a little cottage there, spend the hot Michigan summers in a place with cool, calm waters. I imagine my grandma, small and young, running along the beach with her siblings and cousins. My grandma, who would grow into a young woman, meet a young man and marry him. Together, they would move to those same shores, and soon there were different small feet on the sand as my aunts and my mother came along. And while the family grew, so did the cottage, adding rooms, a second story, a detached garage, and an office built by my grandpa's incredibly capable hands. When the waters rose, they built a seawall, and the shoreline slipped below the water. It changed and changed, but was still home. The children left, but always returned, adding generations like cake tears. Every summer, I bathed in Anchor Bay. I fell asleep in the sun. I felt the freedom of a time without worries. There's no place I know better, no place I've loved as purely. So when I learned we would sell the house, when Grandma eventually left us, I've never raged more hopelessly. Then I cherished and counted each second there and spoke of the last summer for so many summers, until it really was. Grandma died on a Monday. It was October. We came to say goodbye, then the house sat until we could come back in June to clear out 5 generations of life. But there was nothing we could do to totally empty the house because it was still full, without a stitch of furniture, full of memories, full of love, full of Grandma, full of me. When my mom asked what I might want, what things might be important for me to keep, I thought, I want the carpet where I read my books. I want the tacky wood paneling. I want the leaky windows. I want the wheel and the and the peeling wallpaper. I want the drop ceiling and the creaky closet doors. I want the hot nights where I curse the lack of AC. I want the ugly cabinets and weird doorknobs. I want every molecule of my grandmother's home, but I can't have any of it, no matter how many knickknacks I may take with me. Soon I'll leave this place and never come back to it. Someone will buy it, and before they change a thing, it'll be gone. We'll leave these walls and pipes and wires and take all the memories we can hold of this house when it was full and the woman who filled it. Thank you for letting me share. It's always like therapeutic to share my pieces, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. You remind me how much I love my grandma as well, and my grandmother's house. It was like a huge park to me, even though it was just a house. So thank you so much for sharing. Also, the birth certificate poem, it was great. I'm gonna call my mother and be like, hey, hi, do you have my birth certificate one? Also, who am I? So thank you so much for sharing. Wow, this is why I love Sacred Voice open mics. Great. Um, 7:56. Wow. I guess I should be a host. If you're just now joining us, hi. Welcome to Sacred Voices Open Mic. We have open mics every fourth Friday of the month. Today we have a great open mic. It's been filled with interviews and singing and amazing writing. So if you're just now tuning in, you've missed a lot. So go back on our Facebook page and watch it. If you want to donate to us, you can donate to us on Venmo at Sacred Voices. If you want to be more intimate with us, you can be a patron on our Patreon. It is also Sacred Voices. And yeah, I'm like trying to see if I have things to share. I haven't written poems in like a long time, but Jessica just, it's amazing. Okay. Jessica inspired me to read a poem about my grandmother's house. I love my grandmother's house. And I wrote a poem in my like first chapbook that I've ever published. It's a digital one, so if you missed it, then you missed it. I have to pull it up, but it is called What's in a Home, and I wrote it for my grandmother and her house, which is like this huge house that was like on top of a hill, and it had like so many rooms and stuff. So yeah, this is called What's in a Home. Walk past the porch, step inside, and safe spaces become true. On the left, a portrait of the two gods who fell in love and made me. To the right, a dining room table that Jesus had the Last Supper at, enjoying meals that only you know how. Listening to B.B. King on the record player with the kitchen still intact. The wooden spoon and fork that will become my mother's inheritance lay on the walls of a refrigerator decorated in my sister's graduation smile. Artwork I don't remember making on the warm soil only for her. Walk 5 steps and a faint ray of sun will kiss your cheeks and say, welcome back. The patio is where I spent the most time, looking through records of heaven's finest singers, pretending to be an organ player and falling in love with every plant book that you had. The room where we spent the most time together, watching The Price is Right and falling asleep. This was the room where I was convinced that your knickknacks were alive and watched over you as you folded clothes and whispered your favorite Bible verses. Maybe that's why you chose this room to say goodbye, to have your last breath, to remind me what makes a home, and it was you all along. Thank you for being my home. And that's what's in a home. I feel like I'm on a grandmother trail, which I have another poem about my grandmother, and then I will just keep chatting. It's called A Recipe for an Angel because everyone wants to know how to make an angel, and I have that recipe. A recipe for an angel. Be born in Alabama. Become the prettiest girl in the world. Marry your first love. I mean, your first love. I mean, you met in elementary school and he was your first love. That's wild. Have 4 children and love them all equally. Have a garden. Make your children help in your garden. Fall in love with B.B. King. Show your grandchildren how to twist and groove in the kitchen of your house. Make eggs, only you know how to. The runny kind, but still hard. Put it on toast and wake everyone up happy. Love the bread store as much as you love your husband. Know the kinds of chocolate he eats and smiles because they resemble your skin. Be able to cook for the whole family, but knowing how to ask for help first. Serve the men first. I know you always hated it, but it was how you were raised. Love your children and grandchildren. Love your church hats. Love your God. Serve your church till the last breath you take. Fight against Alzheimer's. I know you wanted to live forever. Fall in love in your father's arms, for you were truly ready. Become your grandchild's favorite God, and there you have it, an angel. My grandmother, Dorothy Ann McBride, born April 8th, 1937, passed on physically July 3rd, 2016. Forever, eternal, and always. And then that's my poems. Yeah. So it looks like, thank you. It looks like we are waiting for one of my students that she said that she wanted to perform and she ain't here. And it's fine, I get it. I'm not hurt or anything. If Takira is watching this, I'm not hurt. I'm just disappointed. As I text my students, does anyone else want to share more? I have a bunch of poetry books next to me that I can read from. They aren't mine. They are amazing poets and mentors that I have had the chance to read. But if anyone wants to share, please let me know. My student is texting me back, so we'll see what happens. I feel like while my student texts me back, oh yeah, I can ask them questions. I guess one of my questions I forgot to ask, Jessica, how can people buy your book? How can we find you?
I went the Amazon route, so you can find Rose Hips by Jessica High Street on Amazon.
Cool. And then Aria,
or ebook.
Nice. Cool. Aria, do you have anything that we can purchase from you? Do you have, songs, poems? How can we find your work?
Araya and I have some stuff on YouTube, but nothing perfected. Right now I'm kind of working on an album with my church, which is really awesome. But nothing perfected at all. I've been singing for a really long time, but I don't know. I never got anything like professionally done. I did audition for American Idol, which is kind of cool.
What round did you make it to?
I didn't make it past the first one, unfortunately. I got really nervous. So initially, hold on one second. I have 2 children in the background. Hold on.
Kids just want to be a part of it.
Yes. They're like, it's noise making time. She's too quiet. But initially when I was performing, they were like, oh. And then when I forgot the words, because I opened up my eyes and looked at them, they were like, ah. So it's okay though. It was a wonderful experience.
Man. I think the only people I remember from American Idol is like, what is his name? I want to call him Samuel Jackson, but I don't think Samuel was on American Idol. Was it Randy?
Yes, he lost a lot of weight.
I was like,
Fantasia.
Yeah, I feel like it's been so long since.
Yeah, understandable.
I'm really bad at asking questions, Aston.
Hey, Bree, could I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I am a middle school teacher, and I actually work for like a nonprofit that is in the middle schools, and we are all about like youth empowerment and getting folks like to speak up and use their voice. So I was wondering, like, can you, if we have a moment, talk about how to get students involved in your workshops, how they can access those?
Yeah. So you can start by sending Sacred Voices an email. I believe it's Aston may have to help me. Is it the workshop email or is it our actual email?
There's 2 options. So you can email the info at, sorry, I'm trying to like do behind the scenes stuff. You can either do info@sacred-voices.org or workshops@sacred-voices.org. Both of them will work out. They'll both get to the right people. And yeah, if you just email us there, we'll give you some more details, and we can figure out a way to make it happen. Bree is one of the facilitators, so I'm sure that they would be happy to. You always say that middle schoolers are your favorite, right?
I love middle schoolers. Middle schoolers are at this age where they're like too cool for you, but they also want to interact with everything. And it's like, pick a struggle. Like, do you want to do you want to interact with me, or do you want to just like act like you're a high schooler? Because you're not yet. You're not. But yeah, I would love to come into your middle school and teach young people. I don't know if you saw earlier, but Sacred Voices does poetry workshops. I also am I'm an independent contractor and consultant, so I do DEI workshops and queer workshops, race workshops by myself as well. So if you want your young people to learn about, queer and trans identities or how to interact with people who have different identities from them, I do that. But I would love to come in either as myself or as Sacred Voices. I love middle schoolers. Oh, I love I work for a youth nonprofit, and we work mainly with high schoolers and college students. And I'm just like, I want middle schoolers though. I want them so bad. But they're like, no, never. And I'm like, but why? Um, it looks like Aston, my student is having some issues with the meeting ID doesn't exist.
Yeah, some other people were having problems with that. I can send I can send it to you and you can send it to them if that works.
Okay, that works.
So I'm just going to email you real quick.
Oh, do you want to put it in the chat?
That works too.
Yeah, technology. I wish I had more smoothie.
But yeah, keep this interview stuff going. I like it.
I'm really bad at interviews. I'm very good at answering questions. I'm terrible at asking them. Because I'm just like, hi, but hi.
Let me see. We'll see if I can come up with a question for Jessica here. Well, okay. Well, first off, hi. Nice to meet you. I know I haven't really talked to you so far yet. I was the one who you were messaging earlier when we were having trouble with the links there. But yeah, your poems seem very cathartic and, very emotionally driven. How hard is it to write like that? Like, I can't imagine that, you come out of like a trauma or just a hard event to deal with, then you immediately pick up the pen and start writing. What was that process like for you?
It actually is kind of like you described it. I think of it as it's a very natural outlet for me, that when I feel those strong emotions really building up, most people might want to go like punch a wall or scream or I don't know, go for a run. I want my pen to the paper. I want my fingers to the keyboard because it's kind of a way to like align the chaos that might be going on in my brain and kind of like make sense of it all. And then I think from there, I kind of have found that that voice that maybe others can connect with as well, that, I'm just kind of like putting it out there, my emotional journey. So yeah, I think that in the editing process, I made it more accessible than just like my catharticness. But mostly, yeah, it's very much just when those strong emotions creep up, that's what I turn to.
Very cool. Very cool. What's next for you?
So I do feel like this collection is so personal and so my life story that I guess that was my question to myself, is what's next now that I've, put my collection that is very much me in a book. Where do I want to go from there? So I've been buying lots of poetry books, taking in a lot of poetry content and videos, bought the Mary Oliver Poetry Handbook, just to like kind of play with different styles and different voice so that I can figure out, where do I want to go now that I've put out my intro? What else do I have to say besides just like introducing myself?
That's great. And one last question for you. How did you get started? And what was your very first poem?
I don't know if I could say my first poem. I I just wrote in my journal the other day, I feel like as soon as someone taught me how to put my thoughts on the paper, that's what writing was, I was a writer. And as soon as I learned that poetry was a type of writing, it was just like gears clicking together. I was like, this is my thing. So I feel like I've got friends that I've been friends with since third grade. And they still remember the songs that I would come up with about the flowers and the trees that we'd be climbing. And, this kind of goes back to your earlier question too about responding to trauma with writing. My dad passed away when I was 12, and literally within days, I had written this poem about my dad. So it's just always been this like part of who I am. I feel like as soon as I was like learned what poetry was, I just clung to it.
Yeah, wow, that's really cool. Bree, do you have any thoughts or further questions for Jessica here?
I think my only thought is like, I don't know, I love your journey into this and like what you're going through. I'm starting creating a creative journal where it's like poetry prompts and like questions to like reflect on, and it's the hardest thing I've ever done. But like hearing you talk, I'm like, I feel like people need this, where it's like they don't know how to get into poetry yet or how to, reflect on their own personal things. So I think this creative journal is something that will help. But it's the hardest thing ever. I don't know how people do it. It's so hard. My student can't get in.
That link still didn't work for them?
So they need to download Zoom.
That would help.
But it takes forever on their end. And then it like undownloads for some reason. And then the code and the number doesn't work. I don't know.
Huh.
She's so great.
Well, I can try to send you another one, but if the program isn't installed, it's unlikely to work.
I don't think it'll work either. It's so unfortunate.
But I mean, we can absolutely feature them at our next show, which will likely be in person as well, which might be better.
Okay.
So, let them know that. Or if you're watching, I don't know your name, I'm sorry, but
Kyra, if you're watching this,
you can come to our next show.
Let me just text her then.
Is this the student that made the book?
No. So this is my student who I work with at my nonprofit. Recently, we just had an event and she shared a poetry piece. I have gnats in my house. She shared a poetry piece and it was dope and it was amazing. And she has such a powerful voice. She's a poet, she raps, she is just doing the thing. And I wish I would have introduced you all to her, but technology sucks.
Unfortunately so.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then I will leave it to you to do what you will. Now might be the time to wrap it up, unfortunately.
I may wrap it up. Because I'm tired and my brain just, I don't have big brain right now. I have tiny, small, micro brain, and it's not big brain. So if you just now got here, hi, hello. If you are my student Kyra, please come join us next month in person. I promise it will do better. I will even pick you up because I need you to be here. We are Sacred Voices. We have open mics every fourth Friday of the month. That may change. Please keep in contact with our social medias on Facebook and Instagram. If you want to donate to us, please go on Venmo at Sacred Voices. If you want to be more intimate with us, you could be a patron on our Patreon. We will be starting a writing group soon, fingers crossed. And if you want to make a change in your community, we are looking for board members. And what a board member does is that you help us out in, facilitating amazing spaces for young people and people in general to come to our open mics, facilitate workshops, and just be a voice in what Sacred Voices gets to do. And yeah, you can find us at Sacred Voices on basically everything, website, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, Venmo. We don't have Cash App. Snail mail, carrier pigeon, attack hawk, if you will. Please don't send a hawk. That's very scary. And yeah, I don't know how to close things. I'm an opener. Closing, I don't know how to do it. Aston, will you assist? Oh, I don't know if I can do that, but we have a radio interview coming up on June 11th with Susie Q. Smith. If you have not bought Susie Q. Smith's amazing book, A Gospel of Bones, please do so. It is magic in paper form. I love this book. I have this book on my altar and it's amazing. Oh God, I wrote down how you can do our radio show. 1390 AM and 88.5 FM. Oh my goodness, I didn't even talk about this. The Chrysalis House, my partner's organization. The Chrysalis House is a sex positive co op that supports people in Denver, predominantly people of color, BIPOC folks, and sex workers. They are having a Juneteenth Jubilee cookout where you can just come, eat food, bring food, cook with us, and celebrate Juneteenth. It will be at Tooney's Bar on Colfax. So please come and find us. I will put more information in the comments below to find the event. I will be there. You get to see my face in person. I will probably look super cute. So, don't miss your chance to see that because it's very rare. And yeah, the Chrysalis House is a dope organization that is doing dope things. And Juneteenth is coming up and we're having our Jubilee cookout. So please do the thing. I am going to end it by saying I'm going to end it, and that is it because I'm terrible at closing. I'm going to end it. Yay.